Hi, Denise. Welcome to Foursquare Microfarm. And well, I was in the middle, like I usually am, of doing another project. I decided to go up to the barn and get some more alpaca I had stashed away for a long time, and went to the bag and found this Navajo Churro that I had gotten from a trade, probably at least 4 years ago, maybe a little longer, and decided I would go ahead and prep that too so I can make another bag. So I'm right in the middle of finishing videos and decided to make another one in the process. Okay, now if you're not familiar with Navajo Churro, there's Churro sheep are a breed that's native to Spain, and they were brought to North America, somewhere in the 1500s, and they were tended by the Navajo Native Americans, hence the name Navajo Churro. And so they were used primarily as wool sheep. And the Navajo used them to make the traditional rug yarn. They kind of went near extinction in the 1970s because of the push of the American government to introduce a finer wool to the Navajo people and a lot of crossbreeding. And so there's been a preservation effort that has built up the numbers of the Navajo Churro sheep again. And so the Churro sheep that are of America are not quite the same as the Churro sheep um, from Spain because of those crossbreedings, but they're pretty close. They've been restored to pretty close to the same type of sheep. Navajo Churros are very hardy. They have high resistance to parasites and foot rot. They're small bodied, kind of rough and shaggy. Fleece is open and it's double coated. It has very little grease in it, which is like one of the reasons I just love it. So much easier to clean. Um, they can be spotted or have outer coats of different colors. So, you know, I'll show you the outer coat might be different color from the undercoat. The outer coat is a high micron, 38 plus sometimes. The undercoat can be anywhere between 22 to 23 microns, which is not really all that bad. They come in the natural colors of white, black, brown, tan, and gray, and the fleece weighs usually about 5 to 7 pounds. The outer coat is much, much longer than the undercoat, 4 to 14 inches. The undercoat is 2 to 4 inches, roughly. And so let me show you. Now, I don't remember. A lot of this outer coat is pulled out. I don't remember if it was done by me when I did the trade or whether it was done by the breeder when it was sent to me. But you can see here's the outer coat. See, it's got that glossy hair type shine to it, similar to Icelandic, which I still haven't done. I gotta find that bag. And then what you're left with is the soft undercoat, very crimpy, very soft undercoat here. So I could separate them and get a softer yarn if that's what I was after. But actually, I'm going to use this to make another bag. And churro felts just wonderfully. And so basically, I'm going to process it as it is. There's very little VM in this fleece, just a little bit of straw and seeds here and there. And so I run it right through the drum carder. It'll fall out for the most part, and what doesn't fall out will fall out while I'm spinning. And I do have the one pitch Viking combs. And when I got the combs, I was really enthusiastic about getting some Viking combs. And now that I have them, I wish I had gotten the two pitch finer combs because I don't really like the Viking combs much. And I could do this on a hackle as well. But basically, all I'm going to do for this is just go ahead and separate it because it's been compacted in a paper bag for some time. And what I'm looking for are any really big compacted pieces, maybe like this, that would create some really interesting neps. If I would have a lot of waste if I ran this, or if I tried to comb it out I get a lot of waste back there with these pieces. And I also don't want any neps in the drum carded fiber. So either I'm going to pull those out by hand, or if I find like a really big piece, I just discard it. Okay. And run it through my baby brother drum carder, which is a 72 TPI. Pretty basic. I'm going to turn it this way so I'm not leaning into the camera, because I am like on this little table surrounded by a mountain of dogs. Okay. Okay, there's this little sticky spot where I had a little too much feet glue. I'll fix that later. See what I mean? Okay, so I'm not reshooting that again. And of course, right, the dog gets up, comes out, knocks the camera, stretches out, and then goes right back into the same spot. Like, why did you do that? Why, dog? Why? Okay, so anyway, what we're gonna get is these really cute bats. I guess got a little, okay, bam, there we go. Oh, these things are so nice and squishy. I can already tell you this is gonna be a really nice squishy spin. Because you know what it reminds me of? Craft felt, actually. It really reminds me of craft felt. And since the undercoat is mostly removed, it actually feels nice against my skin. Maybe I won't make a purse out of it. Oh, we'll see. Anyway, you'll watch all that stuff. It'll all fall out as I spin. That's actually really nice and soft. And I'm going to spin this into a single. Okay. Since I did intend to weave it, I don't know if I am anymore. I was going to spin it into a single, kind of fold the yarn and weave it as a single ply. We'll see. This is really nice and soft. I might make a 2-ply out of it. It's going to spin really nice and soft. Let's see what kind of loft I get from it. Maybe that's about right. I could go a little thinner. That would be good. That might make a good scarf. All right, well, I'll come back in a slightly separate segment and show you what I'm doing for the spinning. The churro's all spun up, and I've already warped the Ashford sample at loom. This is a 2-ply yarn, and it's probably a little closer to DK than worsted. It's a really nice spin. Churro is really grippy. Really nice fibers, especially for beginners. Not real slick, give you a little resistance. And I really can't tell whether this is a natural black or a very deep brown. I probably want to say that it would be considered natural black. It's really nice. It's going to make a really nice bag. So I took the churro off the loom and put it inside of the wash machine. And I'm telling you, boy, did this stuff shrink. And I even added an extra 20 inches to account for the shrinkage. And so, I thought that was going to work. and it just really, really shrank. So keep that in mind. Trying to think, I can't think of anything that shrank quite like this churro has. So it's going to be a smaller bag than what I had originally wanted, but it's still going to be a nice size bag. So this is the same hobo bag as before, and I'm going to make several of these in different colors. And just putting the lining on. And I'm doing it in reverse because when I put the lining on, when I sewed it together, hi Dylan, when I sewed it together, I did something wrong. And so in order to match up the sides, I decided just to put it on this way and then go ahead and turn it inside out. So as soon as I get done sewing that, I'll get back to you. So I decided to break out the sewing machine to go ahead and do this faster. And actually, it probably isn't any faster. I could probably stitch this a lot faster by hand, but it's a lot less handwork, so that's nice. I'm putting it in. And when I'm turning the corners, I put the needle in and lift up on the presser foot, turn the corner, make a nice smooth corner. And I'm gonna leave my hole to turn inside out at the top this time. And that'll be a good spot for me to camouflage and use a tag or a small label or something to camouflage that space. To a better shot. Now the bag is ready. I left a little hole here at the top. And that's where I'm going to stitch it completely closed. That's where I pulled it through. And I'll worry about that when the straps get here and decide what I'm going to do about the straps. And it just needs to be rinsed again or washed and steamed out. All the little extra pieces pulled out. Boy, this really does pick up like every single little stray anything that I've got in the room. Any fibers I'm spinning, any dog hair on my clothes, just picks up everything. And partially that's because it's black, and the other part is because it's churro. You know, it just grips every little white lint that came off of the lining here. And I kind of just grabbed whatever lining I had on hand. There were the blue flower one, I think I just like for the blue jeans. And then there was a red one, a couple other colors, some kind of springy things. And I thought about putting a dark one on the bag, but actually I really like the white lining on the inside. I like that a lot. Pull out all these extras. Get this lining ironed, but pretty much I consider this the end of the bag. Besides some touch-ups, might throw a big button on it. And at some point there'll be some steals on the Instagram or Facebook when I've actually completely put the handles on and everything else. All right, that's another weaving project completed. And I'll see you for my next project. Take care.